I'm Cass. Welcome back to my channel. I am very excited to share with you my July bullet journal. Now, this is very different from what I typically do, but it was definitely quite fun and I am quite pleased with how it turned out. So with this theme, I wanted to do Percy Jackson, but I didn't want to just do Percy Jackson because I had done this theme in the past back in 2020, and so I decided to mash two different things that I wanted to do, which was Percy Jackson and juice boxes. And I kind of just mashed them together. So I really hope you enjoy. And if you are planning with me, go ahead and grab your journal and your pens. And if you're not, grab a nice cold beverage because it is hot as crap, at least where I live. And let's go ahead and get right into planning. I have been a fan of Percy Jackson ever since I was a kid. I truly wish I could go back and read the series for the first time ever, but honestly, I wish I could read a lot of series for the first time. However, it's okay because Percy Jackson is something that I can reread and have reread many times. And let me just throw a controversial opinion out straight away. The Lost Heroes series, the Heroes of Olympus, that series is better than the Percy Jackson series, like the main one. I'm just throwing it out there. It is God tier. And you can fight with me in the comments. I'm just stirring the pot straight away for you know where I stand. Anyways, so on my cover, I have a juice box. And on the front, it has Poseidon's trident. And it's a blueberry juice box, I guess. I don't know what exactly this theme is or what it ended up turning out. It's related to Percy Jackson. And then I drew a few juice boxes, and then I also had pages of just fruit as well. So it's a nice combo. This journal was inspired by Kotos journals over on Instagram. I saw her gorgeous cover page, which I'll pop on the screen now, and something about it, I just wanted to do something like it for myself, but with the added, nerdy twist, because naturally I have to let everyone know that I am an absolute nerd and that I love Percy Jackson. Plus, it's kind of around the time that they started filming the Percy Jackson TV series, so it would be a fun little commemoration to look back and be like, hey, they started filming for that TV show around July, and I did a Percy Jackson theme. Honestly, I was just reaching for the stars, grappling for some ideas, and this is what I came up with, which is random, but I truly love it. Also, right now I'm using this ruler, and it's a brand new ruler because if you've seen any of my past setups, the ruler I use is typically a random peace sign that was a full-length 12-inch ruler just broken in half. So I have made some big purchases since the last bullet journal setup. So now I have a tiny 6-inch ruler and I am extremely excited about it, and it's really cute. Anyways, this color palette. The color palette is different for every single page. So for the calendar and the quote page, it is blue because I wanted to do blueberries for Poseidon / Percy / I don't know. But the quote that I have is a Percy Jackson quote. And it reads, "What I did next was so impulsive and dangerous, I should have been named ADHD Poster Child of the Year." I was looking for Percy Jackson quotes just by browsing Pinterest and Google, and this one made me laugh. So I included it because I don't really have reason or justification. I could have done some inspirational, heartwarming quote, but naturally I chose the one that made me laugh, which is the whole point of a lot of the quotes that I choose are because it makes me laugh and I want to be able to look back and laugh at the quotes. I used a little bit of the Camp Half-Blood font, however, I did it more bubbly, rounded corners and less angular, just to match with the cutesy juice box sort of theme. I also added a lot of these little diamonds and threw in a splash of yellow, which I was actually terrified to add because I really loved how the blue and the green was looking, and I was scared that the yellow would just muck it up. I threw in a little bit of the white grid washi tape, which month 3 of using the graded washi tape. I told y'all last video that I love it too much. I love it too much. Now, the next page is strawberries, and the, I guess, god that I chose was Aries. So I drew the helmet on the juice box. No particular reason other than Aries is red, but I didn't want to use red, so I used pink because I was like, pink, strawberries, Aries, mash that all together. Yay. So I'm just doodling my juice box again. I think this one's in a different direction, but same idea. And this pink right here, absolute favorite Tombow that I own. First off, it was a newer Tombow, and so I don't know if any of you use Tombows, but when they're brand new, they just glide over the page like no tomorrow. Now, when they get a little bit older or more dried out, they don't glide as well. But this one, ooh, it was like butter. Smooth like butter. Like a criminal undercover. Okay, no more K-pop references. Anyways, I'm adding some seeds using my white gel pen, and once again, throwing in those diamonds, and I'm doing a mini calendar. Now, this is month 3 of doing a mini calendar, and it has been working really, really well. And it is so much quicker to set up than my full-length calendar. Now, I will admit these lines are a little janky, okay? I am no Amanda Rachel. I cannot freehand straight lines like she can. I don't think anyone can. Plus, I had things glued into my journal. So when I was trying to draw the lines, I was also like going over like the bumps and the raised. You know what I'm talking about when you have things glued on the other side of the page? That was the problem. I was going over those objects that were glued in, and so I couldn't draw a straight line. And I have the shakiest hands ever for an artist. It's insane how shaky my hands are. So yeah, my lines aren't straight, but I wasn't trying to be super perfectionist about this theme. The less I care about being perfect, the more I enjoy setting up my journal, which is such a mind-blowing concept. Why didn't anyone tell me this before? That was sarcasm. That was my sarcastic voice. I just had fun with this setup. I truly did. I didn't struggle with coming up with pages or the color palette, really. I just went with the flow. Now, I did add a goals and a notes, like quote-unquote sticky note that I drew in. I'm not sure if I'm going to use those, but I needed something to fill in the blank space. And then on the right-hand side, I have a column that I'm drawing full of different berries. And this will be turned into a Dutch door in approximately 3 to 5 seconds, but I'm just drawing all the different fruit. Now, I won't be filling in. I won't be coloring it in at this very moment because it is going to be my mood tracker, like I mentioned. So I'll have a little key at the bottom, which looking back, I realized I forgot to add, which is totally fine. But I'll go back and I'll color each berry correlating to what my mood was. I'm not sure which color is going to correlate for which mood, but for example, if I have a really good day, maybe I'll do pink. And if I have like a bad day, I might do blue. But I just drew all the 3 different fruits that I used throughout the spread, which is blueberries, strawberries, and grapes. Now on the flip side is my habit tracker, which is a simple column, and I'm coloring the habit title purple because I am going to add a bunch of grapes, as you see here, because that was the next fruit in the list of fruits that I wanted to do. So yeah, I'm just drawing a bunch of grapes. I originally was going to just mirror all the fruits on the other side, but I didn't want all of the colors on the page. I wanted each page to have its own specific color palette. So that is what is happening here. And I'm just writing down all of my habits that I track from bullet journaling, reading, working on YouTube videos, working on my Etsy shop. I mean, I've stopped working on my Etsy shop, but I'm tracking when I work on my Etsy shop, working out, brushing my teeth, taking my vitamins, my period, and washing my hair. I'm just adding some nice details and shading to all the grapes, coloring the stems and the leaves. And then on the right-hand side is my highlights page. So instead of writing out the title highlights, because I know what this page is and it's kind of self-explanatory when you look at it, I wanted to put something in the middle, and I chose a quote by good old Mr. D. And it reads, "The next person or horse who calls me wine dude will end up in a bottle of Merlot." Now, this was so funny because I remember reading this quote, and as a kid, I did not know what the heck a Merlot was. And this was the first time I think that I can remember reading this and being like, oh, like, I know what a Merlot is, which is silly, but I don't know. I guess I was a dumb kid and just didn't know alcohol. Now I'm drawing a little juice box with a bundle of grapes on it, which represents Mr. D as well. And I really love this purple as well. Pink and purple are my top 2 favorite colors, which no one believes when I tell them that. No one believes that my favorite color is pink. And then you walk into my room and then it all makes sense. I'm just using my marker to highlight every other day because it breaks up the page and also just fills in the page. And my next page, I just need to say page one more time, I swear. But the next one is my finance tracker, which is super functional. So a lot of the space has to be used for when I track my finances, so I can't draw any big objects. So instead, I just wrote finance tracker on the top, drew a few little blueberries here and there, and I did draw washi tape to make the columns look like they're big old sticky notes or post-it notes or whatnot. Again, with the not straight line. Don't judge my not straight lines. I know they're terrible, but something about not using a ruler, it's very freeing. I don't know, if you were like me and just used a ruler for everything, I encourage you to just take the time to just not use a ruler for once, and you will see what I mean when I say it's freeing. On the next page, that is my stats page. Now, I had to change the order of where I put my pages because typically my stats page would be on the other side of the Dutch door. However, I found that I kept forgetting to fill out my highlights page, so instead I put that next to my mood and habit tracker and my stats on this page. So I had to create a full page worth of stats, and I just drew these little sticky notes, post-it notes, spiral pad, and then on the bottom wrote seaweed brain and wise girl. And then after I wrote that out, the last thing I needed to do was just color all the pages. Not all the pages, just the 2 pages you see on your screen here. The left is blueberries, so naturally it's going to be blue, and then the right is strawberry, so naturally it's going to be pink. And there's not really much else to say other than I really liked doing the gingham pattern on the washi tape. And I'm just repeating the same process that I did on all the other pages. So coloring in the blueberries, adding a little bit of shadow, coloring the leaves, adding a little bit of shadow. I will say though, this marker was absolutely running out of juice, which was really annoying. Like right about here, I started having to go a little bit slower just for the marker wouldn't show up as light as it was. And luckily I was able to finish the page before the marker ran out. And that was a very good feeling because it's not a Tombow, it's actually a Crayola Super Tip, which I 100% recommend if you need markers to start bullet journaling. Crayola Super Tips, god tier. But the point is, they're Crayola, so I can't just buy an individual one like I could with a Tombow. So luckily my blue, it held in there. It made it. It survived. Again, coloring things pink, my favorite color. I really loved how that page turned out. And I'm really excited to try more themes that look cute and fun like this, while also still combining with the nerdiness that I bring to the table, because I guess being a nerd is just a personality trait. And I really hope that this theme was able to give you some inspiration of mashing together 2 things that you wouldn't normally expect. In this case, Percy Jackson and juice boxes / fruit. And here is the final flip through. I seriously am in love with this theme. It is so unconventional to what I typically do, and I will see you in the outro. Thank you so much for watching the video all the way to the very end. It literally means the world to me that you stuck around this long. Like, seriously, to those who actually watch my outro all the way through, like, y'all are real MVPs. I love y'all. But if you like the video, please do give it a like and also chat down below with me. It really helps with the algorithm and getting my journal spreads out there. I hope I was able to inspire you, or you were able to just sit back and relax for a little bit while watching, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Toodles!